Welcome to the Lunchroom Podcast, episode 2 of many. I am Jacob Sampson, your host / moderator, and with me again is Max Kelver and Silas Barris.
Glad to be here.
I made the cut this week.
Glad to be here.
Let's get right into some news. The World Series matchup is set. The Dodgers are against the Rays. Let's start with Max. Who do you think is going to win?
Personally, I think the Dodgers are going to win. They have more experience. They've been to the World Series 3 out of the last 4 years. And Clayton Kershaw, Mookie Betts, they're studs. They have better pitching. I just think the Dodgers are going to take this one.
Sorry.
Won't be close.
Well, Max, you see,
Yeah, Si?
the thing is, Tampa Bay's creative pitcher usage has enabled the Rays to put on a show. You cannot stop this team. It all comes down to pitching.
Yeah, they got Clayton fucking Kershaw.
He's not that good.
Yes, he
Clutch
is.
time, no.
He's
But here's what it
fucking
says. The
Here's what it
Dodgers,
says.
who inevitably will using Kensley Jason as their closer. They'll use him as their closer. No matter what team, no matter what time. They only have one closer pitcher, as the Rays have variety in closers, which is what puts them over the Dodgers.
So, how do you explain them almost choking to the Houston Astros?
How do you explain them not losing to the Houston Astros?
Whoa.
They pulled,
Here, let me explain it to you, Silas. So
They won. Doesn't matter
baseball,
how.
There's it's like basketball. There's 7 games, and the first to win 4
and they
moves on to
won.
the next
They
round.
won 4.
They did, but they almost choked a 3-0.
But they didn't.
I don't know. That was freaking
As
close.
long as they
I would
didn't.
not trust. I would not trust the Braves. Their experience.
Dodgers went down 3-1.
Yeah, and they
How do you know it
won,
won't
which is
happen again?
more impressive than almost choking
But how do you know they won't go down 3-1 and lose in Game 7 like the Astros did?
because the Dodgers are better than the Astros.
Are they, though?
Yes, they are.
Are they?
Yes, they are.
I don't think they are.
I don't know.
Well, that's a debate for an... Ashka, you know what? We have time. Do you want to debate this?
I think we're out of time.
All right. Let's move on. With Daryl Moore's departure from the Rockets, what are your guys' thoughts about his tenure with the Rockets, and where do the Rockets go from here? Silas, your thoughts?
I say good riddance. I don't think he had anything good contributing to Houston. He stirred up the league with multiple of his crazy claims, I should say. I think if you're a Rockets fan, I think it's rebuild time for this franchise. They've gone nowhere in the last 5 years. They've made the playoffs, yes, but they've lost every single year to the best team in the West. I think the West is too good for the Rockets. I think they need to get rid of some big money players, free up some space, get some good draft picks, young players. I think they need to start rebuilding because where they're at right now, they're not going anywhere.
I disagree with the point that he did nothing for the Rockets. The Rockets were the second winningest team since 2010, only behind the Golden State Warriors. In, I believe it was 2016? If Chris Paul doesn't go out, the Rockets are world champions. Yeah.
Warriors were too good that year.
Except they were down 3-2, and then Chris Paul gets out. Harden can't do everything.
Chris Paul was not that big of a factor in that
He was
series.
a huge factor. You saw what he did with the Thunder this year? He was better
Yeah.
with the Rockets.
No, he was better with the Thunder this year. Way better.
No, he had more experience, or he had more experience this year, but he had athleticism and better playmaking with the Rockets because he was feeding James Harden the ball. That's the difference between Russell Westbrook and Chris Paul. Was Chris Paul is a playmaker, Russell Westbrook is a guy who just wants to get stats.
I agree that Westbrook is not the right guy for Houston, but I don't think Chris Paul would have changed anything. That's why he left. He didn't. If he was that big of a contributor,
Traded.
if he was that big, exactly, they would have kept him if he was that big of an influence.
If he was that big of an influence, just ask the Thunder, because he was.
He was. I agree. He was an influence to the Thunder, but not the Rockets. He played a part, but not a part for a championship.
I disagree. They were up 3-2, and then he gets hurt. He can't play.
They still would have lost.
That's like if Anthony Davis gets hurt in the finals this year, their second best player, they don't win that series.
Yeah, that's Anthony Davis. Way better than Chris Paul. Chris Paul's washed up.
You literally just said!
On the Rockets, he's washed up.
You can't get unwatched. It's not how this works.
It is.
Daryl Moore, back to Daryl Moore discussion. He was in charge like the lead in charge of the analytics movement, which really revolutionized the game. It really got rid of the mid-range shot. So the Spurs became obviously DeMar DeRozan wasn't as efficient as he was. It was more of a focus of low post ball and 3-point shooting.
Okay.
He did make some mistakes, like trading away Chris Paul for Russell Westbrook. I think Chris Paul and James Harden fit way better together than Russell Westbrook and James Harden. But he made a lot of good trades, like good trades and good signings. The main one, the big one, is the James Harden trade. He got James Harden for, in hindsight, almost nothing. But James Harden won MVP. He's been a perennial top 10 player at the whole time he's been in Houston. He's led him to the best years since Hakeem Olajuwon.
That's not the GM's responsibility. He got lucky with Harden.
Giannis, the Greek freak, changing teams has been the biggest story throughout the NBA offseason, and the two biggest suitors seem to be the Mavericks or the Heat. What would be the best fit for the Greek freak, Max?
I'm gonna go with the Mavericks on this one. I just think the Mavericks have a better future. Kristaps Porzingis is still young. They got shooting, which was the main difference, the main difference between the Mavericks and the Bucks. Like, they got Seth Curry, Max Kleber. They got some good players, good depth guys, which the Bucks didn't have. Not to mention, they got Luka Doncic, who, oh my God, might be the best young player besides the Greek freak himself. Mm-hmm. You pair those three up, I don't see a team in the league that could beat them.
Interesting. Silas? Mavericks or Heat?
I could see it going either way. I can see why you say Mavericks, because obviously they have Luka, like you said. You can't, if you pair up Giannis and Luka, their future together is unstoppable. I think they have the best future of any team if he goes to Dallas. The one reason I can see him not going to Dallas is because the West is already completely stacked. I think if Giannis went to the West, that would be completely unfair to all the teams in the West. It's already way better than the East, which is why I can see him going to Miami.
It's been way better in the East. Even when LeBron was in the East, the West was so much better.
You can't compete with the West, which is why I think it's smart for him to stay in the East and go with Miami, because you have a championship team who, without Adebayo and Dragic, almost beat the Lakers. I know they didn't, but they made it.
Did you know that?
They made it that far. They made it that far. They made it to the championship without Giannis. And if you add Giannis to that team with Jimmy Buckets and Adebayo growing up, and you have Hero, who's going to be a great player in this league, I think they're solidly the best team in the East compared to the West, which he has a better chance of going to the finals.
I just think, so this would most likely happen, not this offseason, but next offseason, but I think the problem with the Heat are, this might have been a one-year wonder for them. I mean, like, look at the teams in the East, and they are not, compared to the teams in the West, they are not very good, like you said. Mm-hmm. The only real competition that they beat this year in the East was the Celtics, who are still a decently young team. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are still under 25. I really think that Giannis, if he went to the Heat, would have an easier path to the finals, but I don't think they would be able to beat the Lakers or Nuggets or Clippers, even with that. Just, I don't know how well he fits with the Heat.
Okay. Let's get into some football. Baker Mayfield of the Cleveland Browns. The GOAT.
Gotta love the man.
He was benched during the game on Sunday against the Steelers. So that asks the question, is Baker Mayfield the guy for the future of the Browns? Silas. Future Browns.
Let's go, Si. What do you got to say?
I don't think he is.
Me neither.
Yeah, Jacob, would you like to elaborate on that?
You wanna?
He bad.
This is my opinion. Baker Mayfield, he's been like semi-okay these past few years, but
good solid.
Not good enough. I don't see him going anywhere, honestly. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not like what Peyton Manning was a long, long time ago.
35 years ago.
So, in my opinion, no, he's not going
Bradbury.
anywhere. He's gonna end up being a backup quarterback for some garbage team, honestly. So, Silas.
I think he has been given so many opportunities to prove himself, with having weapons like Odell and Jarvis 2 years in a row now, and not capitalizing. Like, those are two of the almost amazing wide receivers in the league. You can't not have at least a winning record with those receivers this season. But last season, he started the entire season and they went nowhere.
Yeah. Max?
I'm going to have to agree with Cy on this one. I don't think Baker's the guy for the future. Although it seems like every week there's been this discussion of, is he the guy, is he not the guy? So, like, when they played at Thursday Night Football against the Bengals, we thought it was his last chance. He balled out. Then he balled out against the Cowboys. And now you look at him against the Steelers, who was an actual legit defense.
Yeah.
And he couldn't perform. Part of that might have been due to his injury, but still, bad tape is worse than no tape. So I think with all the weapons he has, Odell, Kareem Hunt, Jarvis Landry, you have Chubb, who's out. You have Austin Hooper and David Njoku. David Njoku asked for a trade because he's not getting enough targets because there's so many guys. And
Exactly.
for Baker not to be able to produce with all those studs on that offensive side of the ball, I think it's on him more than it is the anybody else. So I don't think he is the guy for the Cleveland Browns.
Okay. Another benching situation. Ryan Fitzpatrick is getting benched in order to start for Tua against the Miami Dolphins. Max, is this a good idea or a bad idea?
Personally, I think this actually is a good idea. Tua, before he getting that hip injury, he's been compared to the next Peyton Manning or Aaron Rodgers. He was gonna be the number 1 overall pick, barring that hip injury. And so I think Brian Flores, the coach of the Miami Dolphins, his thought process is that, hey, we have a good team. Fitz is playing well, but this is what he does every year. It seems like he plays well, then he plays terrible. Tua is the guy for the future for the Miami Dolphins, and I think that it's a tough division, and I think they could maybe get a playoff spot with Tua rather than Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Okay. Sai?
I don't think it's his time yet. I think he's.
Well, I think you're wrong.
I think you should let me talk.
My time.
My time.
He's young. He's unproven. I think as well as Fitzpatrick's doing, he's on a hot streak right now. I don't think you take out a quarterback who's doing well. He's done nothing wrong. I don't think you bench a quarterback for doing nothing wrong. I think you keep Fitzpatrick in as long as he's on this hot streak. I think I can see Tua coming in later this season if the Dolphins start to struggle again.
Me too.
But while they're on this hot streak of wins, I don't see why you take Fitzpatrick out.
I think this might have been their plan before the season. I think
Let Fitzpatrick prove himself. take him out.
let Tua just play and practice, get ready for this moment.
Yeah.
And then once Brian Flores sees the opportunity,
Put him in.
play him. And
But why now, do you think?
they got their bye week, so they're gonna be able to prepare even more for the Rams that they have coming up. I still think that they're gonna lose that game, but Tua probably gonna play fairly well. It's not even about if he plays better than Ryan Fitzpatrick will. It's about getting him that experience to become the guy for the Miami Dolphins.
Okay. Okay, after seeing this last week's 6, who are your guys' MVP picks and why?
I think I know who Sylas is going with.
Yeah, I'll start with you, Sai.
People are going to say this is biased opinion.
Really? How could anyone see this opinion as being biased?
Derrick Henry?
No. No.
With that, bro.
Although he is.
Malcolm Butler?
GOAT.
Okay.
Is it Warren Moon?
Every reason. This guy has every reason to be MVP. The only thing keeping him from being MVP is his status around the league. Everyone's think, oh, he's washed up, or oh, he's average. But no, Ryan Tannehill has had better stats. Listen to me.
Can you believe this guy?
Listen to me. He's had better stats than Patrick Mahomes for the last 14 games.
What? Is that true?
It's true. You can look it up.
Look it up, Jake.
He has more. He has the same touchdown to interception ratio. He has
That's
the
Patty.
same amount of wins. They're both 13-3 or 12-3.
So I don't know,
Tannehill's 12-3 as a start. He's only has 3 games left.
Says, I don't know
14
if you know this, but we're talking about this season.
I know.
I know.
He's balling out.
I don't know how you're getting
He
into
is
last season.
balling out this season.
Putting up stats compared to last season. Let's talk about this season.
I am
Silas.
talking about this season.
I don't know. There
He was not MVP last season.
Games.
He's undefeated this season. He hasn't lost a game.
Yeah, so is Russell Wilson, the real MVP candidate.
Who has almost lost every single game.
But
They have not had one blowout.
and they won all games. He leads
Barely.
He leads the league in passer rating, which if he continues at
not.
this pace, yeah, okay, for over like 5, if he has 5 attempts, because like
He might be leading by like 1 point of passer
Silas,
rating.
if he continues on this streak at his current passer rating of 129.8, it will be the greatest passer rating season of any quarterback in NFL history.
But how do we know he'll continue?
Because it's Russell Wilson. He's done this his whole career. He's been
hasn't.
balling. Tannehill he's on a hot streak.
For 14 games is not a hot streak. That is a
Yeah.
solid.
A solid thing. Yeah.
And an off season in between too. And they didn't practice for 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's not a hot streak.
Let's just
a
talk
hot
about the
season.
stats here. Let's just talk about the stats.
Let's do it.
Russell Wilson still leads the league in touchdowns, even with a bye week.
Touchdowns will give him that. And Titans have had a bye week too. So you can't make that argument.
Yeah, but Russell Wilson still has better stats, even with both
He has
teams
better
having a bye.
touchdowns. I don't know about stats all around.
Yeah, he has more yards, more touchdowns, better QBR. I don't know what more you want.
I don't know about
I
that.
don't. Yes, look it up.
I will right now. I looked this up.
He
2
is
days
second
ago.
in completion rating and yards per attempt,
So we got Ryan Tannehill.
which is wrong.
Russell
Which is
Wilson.
wrong,
Hey,
which
Russell
is
Wilson.
right.
It's a dark horse pick. I'm gonna pull up both of their stats for this season, okay?
You're fucking stupid.
Let us know in the comments who you think is the MVP for this season. so
Wilson's
far.
obviously the favorite.
Because he's playing like.
I'm not
Better.
disagreeing. He's not playing.
I gotta go with Max on this one. Honestly, I think Russell Wilson is
We got
just
the hotter Raider on my side.
hotter.
So I don't know what you,
You
want
already
from me.
know.
Look how goddamn cute you are.
Yeah, so I also think Russell Wilson over Ryan Tannehill.
We can come back to this.
Okay. Okay, Max, we'll start with you. Your 5 noticings of this past week 6.
My number 1, Titans and Steelers are legit contenders
Yeah.
for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think the AFC is stacked this year. I don't know who's coming out. The clear favorites, I think, gotta be the Chiefs. Even though they lost this year, they're the reigning Super Bowl champions for a reason. They are just as good as they are last year.
Yeah.
But I think you can add the Ravens in there. You can add the Steelers, Titans, Bills. You can maybe put the Bills in there. There's some really good teams out in the AFC.
Broncos. It's like
The Jets.
Adam Gase, MVP.
Adam Gase is the GOAT.
Can we talk about why he's not fired?
yeah. How is he not fired yet? All the other teams made that
That was
decision.
my next notice is that Adam Gase needs to go.
Yep.
Like, why is he still? I'm pretty sure I could coach the Jets to at least a field goal.
Yeah.
I will just hand the ball to Frank Gore, give it to Jameson Crowder every time. Their stacked offense, with Sam Darnold running the show. It's just, I don't even know why he's still on a team. Tom Brady
Oh yeah, and the Bucks.
from the Bucks really figured it out. You guys saw the other day how they just raped the Packers, who
Yeah.
most people thought the Packers were going to win that game. It wasn't even close. The defense is starting to step it up. Brady's starting to get some protections. He's starting to connect with Gronk and all their other weapons, Mike Evans. The Bucks are starting to become scary. We thought this is what they could have been before the season. They got off to a shaky start, but I don't know. I think they're going to be scary this year.
I think because they're now involving Gronkowski,
Yeah,
they're showing their full potential from this season. With Gronkowski playing at the level he played at against the Packers, it's hard to stop the Bucks. And their defense looked sharp as hell.
Yeah. I had their defense and Gronkowski on fantasy. No big deal.
The Bucks are what the Cowboys want to be, and this leads me to my next noticing. The Cowboys are a mess, and I don't know how you fix this mess.
Yeah.
There was stuff coming out today about how bad the coaching staff has been for the Dallas Cowboys. Players are not committed to it.
Shout out Mike McCarthy.
Mike McCarthy, you're the GOAT, bro. Loving it. I hate the Cowboys so much. They're fucking trash. It brings a smile to my face.
No bias.
Watching the Cowboys last night, Kyler Murray completed the ball 9 times and still had better stats than Andy Dalton, who passed the ball for 54 times.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
The Cowboys defense is god awful. Cowboys always turn the ball over early. Zeke fumbled twice. Andy Dalton should have had a few more picks than he did. They got a late touchdown, but that was really garbage time points. I think the funniest part about the Cowboys was there was a point in the game when they were on the goal line about to score the touchdown, and the crowd started booing them. And what was the best part about the crowd starting booing them is that Andy Dalton couldn't get the set on time, so they had to call a timeout.
His own crowd fucked him.
His own crowd gave him the noise, so he'd call a timeout. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh my god, the Cowboys are a mess.
All right, Si, let's get to your noticings. If any of them are different.
Before I do that,
Yeah, okay.
who do you have winning the complete shit division, NFC East?
Dude, they're the best division in the league. What are you talking about? I'm gonna have to go with. I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
Oh my god, they're horrible.
Yeah, they are so bad. They have like a 5-18-1 record combined. The Eagles, they almost beat the Ravens in like a comeback victory. Carson Wentz.
Same with the Steelers.
Yeah, they almost beat the Steelers, who are 2 contending teams.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Carson Wentz finally showed some light. They don't have their weapons. They have Miles Sanders, Zach Ertz, Alshon Jeffrey, Deshaun Jackson, Jalen Reagor, all out. But even with that, they still put up 28 points. So I don't know. Fulgham the GOAT, 2 touchdowns. Woo!
What about you, Si? Who do you have winning?
I think it depends. Thursday night we see Eagles Giants. I think that game is going to be a trendsetter for the Eagles. If they can win that game and prove that they're the division
No, in the
favorites,
division, it's going to be a tie.
probably they're all going to tie every single game.
I think the division should just not play football anymore. They should just.
They should be kicked out just for being ass.
It's not fair for the team who gets the 5th seed in the playoffs, because then they get an extra. There's 3 bye weeks in the.
But
NFC.
it is pretty much an automatic ticket to the divisional round.
I know it's another bye week. So AFC gets 2 teams with a bye week. NFC gets 3 teams. It's not fair.
Well, 1 now because they changed playoff format.
Oh, it's a 2. No, it's 2. Because
For the NFC, it's 2.
it's
Yeah.
a 2. It's fucking.
For AFC, it's 1.
We're just going to make the playoffs.
All right, let's get... Oh, wait, no, yeah, let's hear your noticing, Si.
My only different one was, I feel like the 49ers are finally showing life. I think they're finally starting to show how they were last season by beating the Rams pretty badly. Their defense held Jared Goff and the Rams to basically nothing. They got a few touchdowns. Goff was picked off on 4th and goal. That can't happen for the Rams. I'm curious to see how they bounce back, but I think the 49ers are finally showing life.
The 49ers are a funny team. They've been doing this a lot this year.
True.
They've been looking good, and then they play the Dolphins.
Ups and downs.
Yeah, ups and downs. You got.
I think now that Jimmy G is fully back.
Yeah, he was healthy. He's finally healthy, which is huge. It's kind of the same thing that happened with Baker last week. He played with an injury, didn't look good at all, got benched.
Yeah.
It was more of just starting to realize that injured quarterbacks aren't going to play well, which I thought was common sense. But apparently Kyle Shanahan and whoever the fucking Browns coach, I forget his name, think. So, it's fucking terrible.
Okay, so from last week's predictions, Max got 8 right and 6 wrong, and Si got 10 right and 4 wrong. There were a couple upsets that week, Broncos included in that. Damn it, Max. Okay, so now we're going to go into the Week 7 pick'ems, starting with the Eagles at the Giants. This is on Thursday. Hopefully this video is up by then. Silas,
Hopefully.
who
Yeah.
do you have winning that game? It's going to be a close one.
I'd agree. But I'm going to say Eagles just because Carson Wentz is starting to play, like you said earlier. I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants won, but I think because Miles Sanders is out, that hurts him a little bit.
Yeah.
But their receivers are starting to lock with Wentz, and I think they're going to pull it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with everything you just said. I think the Eagles will pull it off. Although they do have a ton. They're the most banged up team in the NFL.
That's true.
They're missing Rieger, Alshon Jeffrey, Miles Sanders, Zach Ertz, Deshaun Jackson. It's insane. They're also missing a ton of their offensive line, like Lane Johnson. I don't think the Giants are very good. They won against a bad Washington team last week.
Yeah.
Who, if they get a 2-point conversion, it's a different story this week. Carson Wentz.
Worst call ever.
Yeah, it was
Romeo Crennel and Ron Rivera both made iffy decisions.
Yeah, well, that's why the football team is the football team.
Yeah. They don't deserve a name.
No, they don't. They're fucking terrible. They're fucking terrible. Carson Wentz finally showed promise of what he once was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
He is finally, I don't know if I'd fully say he's back to where he was, but he's finally playing at a competent QB level, and I think in that division, that's all they need to get wins. Their defense is still fairly good. I think that just even though they lost against the Ravens, it's going to be a confidence boost for them, the way they played. I got the Eagles taking this one.
All right. Steelers at Titans. Also, I think it's going to be another close game. Max, who do you got?
This is my game of the week, but I'm going to go with the Titans on this one. 2 undefeated teams, 2 contenders. You can go either way, but I'm going to go with the Titans. Titans are riding off 2 just insane wins, really important wins. The Texans are better than the record says.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I also think Ryan Tannehill is playing lights out. He's playing at an elite level,
MVP.
not an MVP,
MVP level.
Not at an
MVP level.
Can you guys see what I have to deal with on this show? Like, Jesus Christ.
Better QBR.
All right, we're not getting into this. Silas, who do you have winning Steelers at Titans?
I sadly have to go with the Steelers here.
I'm not finished.
What?
Yeah.
Wait a second. Why?
As good as the Titans offense is, the Titans defense is just complete ass. Coming from a Titans fan. They do not have enough healthy cornerbacks. If Adoree Jackson plays, that's a different story. But I think he's still on IR as this moment goes by. Their Steelers defense, second best rushing defense. I think they shut down Henry, which is 90% of their offense. Who are we kidding? And I think with that good of a defense and a very consistent offense, I think they just beat the Titans. I don't see the Titans winning.
I don't know. The Steelers are also dealing with some injuries. The reason I picked the Titans is actually they lost Devin Bush, one of their premier linebackers, to an ACL. And that's going to be huge because while they do have a really good defensive front, their linebacking core is going to be severely weakened. On the offensive side of the ball, they're still missing Dave DeCastro and Mike Pouncey, two of the best offensive linemen in the game.
Yeah.
That's why I think they're going to lose. It's probably going to be a close game, but I think they're going to force Tannehill to beat them, and I think he will.
agree.
I think that A.J. Brown's been balling. Jonnu Smith's been a really underrated piece for that team, and that's why the Titans are going to win.
Okay. Let's get into our next game. Cowboys at the Washington football team. Sadi, who do you got? Who's your pick?
God, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch this.
That game is going to be
So many
bad.
So many close games.
Just because it's close does not mean it's good football.
Well, it's not good football, but
As much as I hate saying this, I think the Cowboys are going to rebound. I can't see them losing that badly twice. They might lose, not badly, but I think Washington is just too bad. I don't think Kyle Allen's proving anything. I think Alex Smith is going to... This is my bold prediction of the week. Alex Smith will end up playing most of that game.
I hope Alex Smith plays.
The
Yeah,
world
me too.
is rooting for him.
yeah, I know.
He's the GOAT.
When he came back, I was so happy.
It's really a heartwarming story.
Yeah,
really good.
it
He's a
is.
good football player. I'm going to disagree. I'm going with the football team. Go football team!
Football
We're up the team! it's more of me betting against the Cowboys than me betting for the football team.
Yeah.
That whole organization right now is a mess. The Cowboys coaches lost their respect to the team. Red Rifle Andy Dalton is not playing well. He's shown that he deserves to be a backup instead of a starter in this league.
Yeah.
If you get cut from the Bengals, you shouldn't be starting.
Yeah, for real. How do you... Okay.
The Bengals are the GOAT. Bengals are the best team in the league. You heard it here first, folks.
Super Bowl champs.
Super Bowl champs. Yeah. It really interests me the way they've set up their team. Like, they set it up similarly to what the Rams did trying to get to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
They would spend so much money buying key players and all of this, but eventually they can't afford it. And because of the salary cap, they just had to stop. They had to stop. Like, they couldn't re-sign Clay Matthews. They couldn't re-sign Todd Gurley. And their defense, besides Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald, is not that good. And the Cowboys are in a similar situation, except they only focused on their offense. And their offense is, while they're scoring points, they're not. A lot of them are garbage time points, and they're getting a lot of turnovers. I think the football team, Ron Rivera is a solid coach. He's all right, but yeah, I think the football team's gonna win this one.
Next game, Bills at Jets.
I'm gonna go with the Bills.
Si?
Let's agree. As long as Adam Gase is still head coach of the New York Jets, we will not talk about the Jets on this podcast.
No, that's a good bet.
That is a good bet.
I'm more than thrilled to do that. I don't want to talk about the
Big bets.
second best team in New York.
All right, next game, Panthers at Saints. Silas, who you got?
Saints.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Saints too. They're gonna get Michael Thomas back. They're coming off of a bye
It's
week.
true.
I mean, Teddy Bridgewater is playing productive this year, but that's kind of what we expected. We didn't expect anything good or like elite. He's just an average quarterback, middle of the pack, but I just think the Saints are a better team. They've had some shaky weeks, but so I'm going with the Saints on this one.
Yeah, I think Michael Thomas is going to have an absolutely gigantic game. Hasn't played in God knows how long, but I think he's hungry and he needs his carries and he's going to get his receptions. He's going to get 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns.
150 yards at least. I think it's going to be a pop-off game for him.
So you think I should start him this week in fantasy?
I do.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right.
I think he's poised for a big game.
Next game, Packers at Texans. Honestly, even though the Texans' record is bad, I think this is going to be another close game.
Yeah, this is
in
actually,
my opinion.
This is actually my upset of the week. I got 2. I'm going with the Texans. I think I don't know if the Packers are going to be able to bounce back
After that shitty-ass performance.
Yeah, they were so bad against. Well, I will say this about the Packers' performance. They did do the Hingle McCringleberry
that was
dance
funny.
celebration.
Even though it didn't count.
Shut up. I don't care about that. I care about Hingle McCringleberry.
Okay.
That still isn't enough for me to pick between the Texans. I think the Texans are still a fairly good team. We're seeing why the DeAndre Hopkins trade is terrible, but
Yeah.
Bill O'Brien, the GOAT, best coach ever. Packers haven't looked too dominant this year, and I'm really, really worried that they're not gonna be able to step it up the rest of the season.
Si? Did I already ask you? No, I didn't.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to say Packers. I think the Texans, like we've all said many times, are better than their record, but I think the Packers have a bounce-back game as well. I think Aaron Rodgers mentally makes a switch. He cannot throw 2 picks and no touchdowns. He can't go from having one of the best seasons of his career to one of the worst games of his career.
Yeah.
I think he's going to bounce back, and I think the Texans just don't have enough defensive power to stop the Packers' offense.
If the Texans are able to get out to an early lead, I think this game's over. Aaron Rodgers, I mean, besides some Hail Marys, he hasn't really done anything in the clutch.
Yeah.
And that's just chucking the ball up as far as he can.
Yeah.
And that's more on the receivers, not on him. So he hasn't really proven himself in his career to be that clutch guy. So he gets down 14-0 start of the third quarter, and that game might be over.
All right. Next game, Browns at Bengals. Silas, hear your prediction.
Bengals suck.
Agreed.
And
Whoa, that is a hot take.
And
Controversy.
Okay.
I think this is the week of bounce backs.
Oh.
Hey, Big Sean, you hearing this?
Last night? No, okay.
Last night's like... Yeah.
Baker is going to have a decent game. He's going to do better than he did against the Steelers, but I think he's going to have a good enough game.
Better than what he did against the Steelers.
I think anyone could.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to have a good game against the Bengals, who don't have that good of a defense. They blew a 21-0 lead against the Colts.
Garbage.
You just can't do that, and I don't see their defense stopping Odell and Kareem Hunt.
I'm going to have to agree with you. I think the Browns will take this one, but that's more of a discredit to the Bengals' defense more than their offense. I think their offense has such a bright future. T. Higgins is looking like a great draft pick. Tyler Boyd's playing like an elite level receiver. They got AJ Green, who's playing well. Joe Mixon's still playing really well, being a top 10 running back in this league. But yeah, Bengals are not going to win this one, but that's due to their defense and not their offense. Baker Mayfield's not going to perform very well, but I don't think they need to win this game.
Alrighty. Lions at Falcons. Max.
I'm going to go with the Falcons on this one.
Me too.
This is the game of choking. I'm going to say this. Both these teams are known for choking.
Yeah.
I would not be eating anything while watching this. just for safety.
Funny guy.
Just for safety reasons. Yeah, you can tell I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
But yeah, Falcons are gonna win. Their offense is proven time and time again that they're elite. If their defense could stop anybody, they'd be at least a 500 team right now. But I don't think the Lions are that good, so I'm going Falcons.
I agree, only because Julio's back.
Julio!
He is back, and he is good.
Wow, that is a bold statement
Bold
right there.
ass statement right there.
Whoa, you guys.
He's back better
He
than
is
ever.
a good football player.
He's
We all
back.
knew this.
He's back.
But with him playing at the level he did against the Vikings, you saw it. Falcons didn't choke for the first time in a million years.
I think that's like
Yeah, for real.
we got to get our stats guy on this, but I think that was the first time the Falcons didn't choke, maybe ever.
In this millennial, at least.
Yeah.
It
Since they've been a team.
was an impressive display that
Since
we
they were
saw
founded.
All right.
since the bird was discovered.
Yep, since the Falcon was named.
Okay, Seahawks at Cardinals. 2 more birds for you right there.
There you
Sai,
go.
who you got?
Bird battle.
It's
Oh, boy.
It's gonna be a good game.
This is my upset of the week.
Whoa.
Cardinals.
I think the Seahawks will not be 6-0. I don't think Titans or Seahawks are going to win another game. I mean, this
They're
week.
not gonna win another game.
Never.
the rest
Never.
of the season.
Just this week. Kyler is coming off a decent game. I know he didn't throw that many passes, but the ones he did were money.
Christian Kirk.
Yeah, that bomb to Christian Kirk was
Wide
absolutely
open.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I was pissed because I
Almost
had
dropped
Hopkins
it.
in fantasy, and I needed him.
You got that
Clutch,
60
but
yard.
no.
You got that 60-yard thing.
He did, but he didn't score, so I killed myself a little bit inside. But
A little bit inside.
I think Buda Baker and their defense
Buda
have
Baker
shown
played out of his
who they
mind
can be.
last night against the Cowboys.
I think they're going to limit Russell Wilson, and when you limit Russell Wilson, you win football games. And I think Cardinals are going to take it upset of the week.
That's not gonna be my upset of the week. As much as I love Kyler, and he does remind me of a young Russell Wilson, the way he's playing, the way he uses his legs and his short stature to get yards. I'm going with the Seahawks. I just think the Seahawks are playing the best football in the league right now. Russell Westbrook is the MVP. I don't care what Silas says because he's wrong.
Always.
Tannehill 2020.
I'm going Andrew Wingard as the MVP. But yeah, Seahawks are winning this game. It's gonna be close, but I think with the receivers, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, the Seahawks are gonna take this one.
Next game, we got Jaguars at Chargers. Maxwell, James Calver.
I'm going with the Chargers on this one. Herbert has been playing great the first starts of his career.
They're coming off a bye, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unexpected because of COVID.
Yeah.
Titans.
Patriots.
All right.
Break it up.
The
So you got-
Patriots are actually to blame from this point forward. All the schedule changes. Patriots are solely to blame.
Maybe it's just the Patriot way. You know, Mike Vrabel did play
Yeah.
for the
Technically, we did it
Patriots.
first, so.
You guys are innovators.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Chargers. Their defense is pretty underrated. I think they're a lot like the Texans, where they're better than the record shows. They got Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, some good weapons. Eckler is still hurt, which is a big loss because he's their best receiver. Well, not their best receiver, but he's a really consistent receiving back. But you'll have Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, like I said. Hunter Henry is still pretty good. And I think Herbert is just better than Gardner Minshew. And that's why they're going to win this game.
Sai?
I agree. I think Herbert is playing very well as a rookie. I think they're playing the Jaguars, right?
Yeah.
I don't think
his stuff.
I don't think Minshew has it in him. I think he's sort of lost his magic touch. They won the first game of the season.
Minshew
They have
Mania
not won
will
since,
never lose.
Yeah.
except for the last 5 games in a row.
But that doesn't count
Throwing some facts down.
at all. Minshew Mania is the GOAT.
Chargers are too good on offense and defense.
I like to see you grow beard or
Why are you
mustache,
talking?
mustache like Gardner Minshew.
He does have a good mustache. That's the only thing he has.
Okay.
Because the GM won't give him any weapons.
Yep.
I think another close game. We got 49ers at Patriots. Silas, who you got?
I'm really disappointed in the Patriots, which I'm proud to be disappointed in.
Me too.
But
Go Patriots.
I think their offense really shit the bed against the Broncos, and I
Yeah.
think they proved what a good game plan and a good defense can do to Cam Newton. They will blame it, of course, on COVID, but
Yeah.
you saw the Titans. They didn't practice for 2 whole weeks, and they fucked the Bills in the ass.
Yeah.
He's not going to get into it.
So I take the 49ers, even though they're away. I don't think it matters. I think Jimmy G is going to have a good game, and Kittle's going to blow up.
Max?
This is an interesting one. Jimmy Garoppolo is finally returning.
That's also part of it, yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo is finally returning back to Bill Belichick and the Patriots. That could be. It's gonna be close. That could be a reason because Bill Belichick knows Jimmy G so well. I think he's gonna give him trouble because they still got Stephon Gilmore and a really, really good defense. But I think you're right. I mean, after losing the Broncos based on field goals,
Yep.
I don't know. I don't think the Patriots can bounce back from that. Cam had a good week against the Seahawks, but hasn't really shown too much because of COVID. But I don't know. I think it's going to be a really close game, but with the weapons that the Niners have on offense, that's something that the Patriots don't. That's going to be the difference in this game.
Another game that I don't think is going to be as close. Chiefs at Broncos. Max, who you got?
I'm going with the Chiefs. The Broncos always seem to give Patrick Mahomes at least a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
But even when they did that last year, when Patrick Mahomes got hurt and they put in their backup, the Broncos still lost.
Yep.
This is probably going to be a blowout. Drew Lock, although they won, did not look good last week. Throwing 2 picks on back-to-back drives. Tim Patrick was playing good, got over 100 yards, but the Chiefs they're the Chiefs, and there's a reason they're the defending Super Bowl champions, and the Broncos are 2-4. So
Yeah. Sai?
I agree. I don't think it's going to be close. I think Mahomes has a day. I think Kelsey has a day. An absolute day.
Does he have a day?
Broncos are
Do not have a
terrible.
day.
Are terrible at defending tight ends. They always have been.
Yeah, for real.
Kelsey
Ever since the
destroys them
Bronco
every
was
time.
discovered. Ever since OJ drove away in the white Bronco.
You can't stop Kelsey and Mahomes duo, especially
Yeah.
against the Broncos. I don't think they have a chance.
All right. Next game, Buccaneers at Raiders. Silas.
This is a very good game.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know.
I'm going Brady in the Bucks. You heard
Whoa,
it here first.
Jacob with the prediction!
I got
Oh my
lead.
God!
think you're right about that one. I think it's gonna be a very tight game. I think Brady is gonna clutch it out this time instead of choking. I think he's gonna learn how to count. I think he's learned how to count since that game.
I don't know. That might
He's
be.
past preschool.
They are coming off a bye week, I will
I don't
say.
know if Michigan education is passing preschool.
Yeah.
They are coming off a bye, which gives them an edge per se. But I think now that Gronk is involved, and if he does play, I will say this: if he's not involved in the game, they'll lose. But
You think Gronk's that big of a
I think he is.
I
Just look what they did with him and the Packers. They wouldn't have beat him without him.
think they probably would.
They might have, but
Because
he was a factor.
It was not a close game.
Who you got, Max?
I'm also going the Bucks. It's John Gruden's return to the Buccaneers. The first time since coaching the Buccaneers back in the early 2000s that he's going to be coaching against them. It's gonna be an interesting game, but I think Bruce Arians is a better coach than John Gruden. The Buccaneers defense is better than the Raiders defense. Buccaneers offense is better than the Raiders offense. It might be a close game because Derek Carr seems to always make those games close. They never really get blown out. They always got fight in them, but I think the Raiders are gonna lose.
All right, our last game of the week: Bears at Rams. Max, who you got?
I want to say the
Another
Rams.
close game.
I want to say the Rams, but I don't. Every time I think, I don't know how the Bears are 5-1. They don't. When you look at their roster, their team does not. I do not think contending team. I'm gonna go with the Rams on this one, but I think I would not be shocked at all if the Bears take this. Their defense is proven that they are a top defense in this league. Nick Foles is Nick Foles, the greatest quarterback of all time. So yeah, but Rams have Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, which I think will give Nick Foles trouble. So he's not the GOAT in this game.
Not for this game.
I think it's gonna be very close. I pick against the Bears every week. I can't do it any longer. I've given in. I'm picking the Bears.
I didn't give in. That's our difference.
There you go.
I'm not a quitter like this bozo over
And
here.
then the Bears will win only because their defense is top 5. They've had a top 5 defense the last 3 years. Trubisky's gone. Foles is in.
No.
Yeah.
Trubisky is the backup. So
He's not playing though.
Once Nick Foles gets hurt, they put in Trubisky because he's the GOAT. He was a Pro Bowler. We have to mention this every week on this show.
Yeah.
He was a Pro Bowler one time.
How many times has Nick Foles been a Pro Bowler?
How many times has Trubisky won the Super Bowl?
How many? That's not
He came out of nowhere. He won the Super Bowl. He's back in business.
Back like I never
Super
left.
Bowls
He's
aren't
back in
important.
business. He's
Super Bowls
5-1. The Bears are legit. They're winning the game.
Okay, I can see the Bears winning this game.
You heard it here first. Do you want to change your prediction, Max, or are you still going with the Rams?
I'm still going with the Rams. Silas
Okay.
did not put up a
The
convincing
argument was very
argument.
convincing.
It was.
He did not.
I was not convinced whatsoever.
Let's get back into this. College football, Big Ten, if I should be specific, is starting up back again. Silas, how happy are you right now? How joyous
Very excited.
Are you? Very excited.
Very
I am.
joyous.
Whew, I am joyous.
College football is not the same without Big Ten.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Straight fact.
I'm so sorry I interrupted you, Silas. My apologies. You may go.
Thank you, Max. Big Ten, you have some of the best teams that we haven't seen yet this year, including Ohio State, Penn State. I'm excited to see if they can sneak into the top 4 by the college football playoffs. I think Ohio State will.
It's always Ohio State.
It's always the same 4 goddamn teams.
They always come up on top.
I want to see a new playoff format.
You want 8 teams?
I do. I also want NFL to change their overtime rules to college football overtime.
I agree.
I want that so badly.
This is a topic for another day, but yes, I do agree with you on both of those. For me, I am thrilled that Big Ten's coming back. It's just college football hasn't been. I don't think it's been the same without it. Without the Pac-12 either or Mountain West, it's just I don't get the same vibe. I'm not really excited to watch any of the games Sunday, But I'm thinking that maybe with Big Ten back, there might be a little bit of an excitement. People might be talking about it. This leads us into our game of the week. Minnesota plays Michigan, 2 ranked teams for the Big Ten. Silas, who do you got winning this week?
I feel like I have to go Michigan, even though I feel like they disappoint a lot of people all the time.
Well, that's because it's Michigan.
Big upset.
Not really an upset, bud.
I think Joe Milton's getting the start, so I'm excited to see what he's gonna do against Minnesota. He's new. No one's seen anything about him. His high school looked good, but so does everyone who gets recruited. So
Yeah.
No,
I'm excited to see Milton.
He looked bad in high school.
I'm excited to see him and what he does against Minnesota.
So, Max, who do you have?
I'm going Minnesota primarily because I hate
What?
Michigan. Michigan sucks. Jim Harbaugh sucks. Should go back to the NFL. They can't beat Ohio State. That's it. Go Minnesota.
Go Minnesota.
Gophers. The Gophers.
The Gophers gonna
Garv.
take the dub.
All right. We are going to get into not our last topic, but almost our last topic, which is the Georgia-Bama game that happened last Saturday. Max's prediction was wrong. Silas's was right. Let's hear you guys talk about the game. Just debate a little bit. Si, you want to start us off?
What can I say?
What
I've
can
said
you
it
say?
once. I've said it twice. I said it 3 times.
Oh my God.
Last week. Saban is coaching. No way they lose. They won by 20.
Quick Max.
No, we're getting into quick match.
They won by 17 points.
Oh,
that's
we
my
got
fault.
some bad math by
Yo,
Silas.
Damn.
let's get this guy out of here.
Yeah, get him out of
Damn.
here. Security.
My bad. They still won by 17. Saban coached them to victory. They still would have won, but they won by a lot.
If Saban wasn't there, maybe they do win by 20. I don't know. But yeah, I was wrong on this one.
Yeah.
I thought Georgia's defense, as stoppable as they've been this season, would be able to stop Alabama's offense. I was wrong. They put up 41 points on them. They got some hella great wide receivers out on the outside for Bama. Their quarterback has been looking like the best quarterback Bama's had in a while, maybe even better than Tua was.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see, but I don't know. Bama's looking scary. Clemson might be the only team to beat them right now.
All I can say is a
Okay.
quote from LeVar himself.
From God himself.
Yeah, this is God.
Never lost.
That's true.
Give me the prize, sir.
Silas had the right prediction, so this week he wins the lightsaber.
That's fucking bullshit.
Bama, baby, roll tide.
We'll see next
Damn it,
week
Georgia
with
Bulldogs.
Minnesota versus Michigan State.
Michigan.
Whoa, my bad. My
This
bad.
Potterator. over here.
Had... Okay, let's get into our final topic of the week, which is our high-low. Max, I would like you to start with this segment while Sai holds his lightsaber in pride.
Well, this is Silas' segment, so I'm sorry, Jake, but I don't have to let Silas go.
Okay, Sai.
This is Silas' thing.
We'll start out with the high. And it has to be Hingle McCringleberry Dance.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers deserves an Oscar for it.
He made me cry. Tears of joy, tears of sadness.
So many emotions going on.
I don't even want to. I don't know if I can talk about this even anymore.
I can't talk about this without shedding a tear.
How beautiful it was.
Tampa should have lost.
They should have had to forfeit the game.
automatically
Yeah,
lose
yeah,
for that celebration. Aaron Rodgers, we'd love to have you on the show.
yes. Fly down to Colorado, Arvada, Colorado.
Zoom, baby. Get that
It would really
Zoom
help us
call.
out.
With our 7 viewers.
I understand if you don't want to.
Me too, but honestly, it'd be a good idea.
I would cry.
It would.
Tears
It would.
of
I think
joy.
it'd help you financially.
Let's get you on some Zoom.
Financially.
Yeah. I'll pull up the...
I'll just contact State Farm real fast.
Yeah, we get Chris Paul on the show too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the King of McCringleberry, it was amazing. The greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Just, I don't know. I couldn't handle it when I saw it.
It was too good.
You know how there's the MJ LeBron GOAT discussion? I thought Aaron Rodgers is just now the GOAT in any sport. Better than MJ,
Doesn't
better
matter
than
what
LeBron,
sport it
better
is.
than Brady, better than Serena Williams, better than Michael Phelps. Can't beat him.
What?
Just Hingle McCringleberry. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, what about your low?
I hate to say this, but my boy Zeke, 2 fumbles on 2 carries. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
You can't
Can't wait
be
to
doing
get
this.
sued.
And the funniest thing about this all is in an interview before the game, he said, "I will never fumble again this season."
And he
guess
fumbled
what?
twice on
How did that work out for you,
2K.
Zeke?
Also, we'd love to have you on the show.
I have to agree with you on the highlight. My low light of the week is actually Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle, the GOAT, for getting out to play football against the Arizona Cardinals.
Cowboys in general just
I think
shitty.
Yeah,
whole Cowboys, they can't play.
they're garbage, and that's a
The
fact.
whole NFC East, actually,
I think the entire division should just be kicked in the NFL.
I think they
should.
should be put in like the G League.
The G League of football.
No,
They will
G
start-
League of basketball.
They will start their own league of
They have
terrible,
to play each
terrible football teams.
And they could
Yeah,
play like
XFL.
Alabama. And
They should
Penn
just go to the
State.
XFL.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Rock can adopt them.
Transfer.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
Nope, that's it.
Thank you
The
for
wrap.
those of you who got to the end of this show. If you're watching on YouTube, check out our Apple Podcasts. If you're watching on Apple Podcasts, obviously check out our YouTube and our Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. All that will be in the link
Don't
in the
forget to
description.
donate to our Patreon.
And don't forget to donate to our Patreon if you're really feeling generous. We
You
can
get a
use
shout out.
a new microphone.
Any,
we'll shout you out.
any
Yeah, we'll
video.
shout you out. We'll put you. We'll give you something special.
We'll send you a lightsaber of your own.
No,
No.
because that'll just make it
Defeats the purpose.
yeah, we're trying to make
My
money.
bad.
Okay, I'm Jacob Sampson. Thank you for watching me with Sylas and Max. Well, that sounded
In
weird.
episode 2 of the Lunchroom Podcast. Thank you guys.
See you next week.
Pew, 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 pew.